This video is going to look at how we write the equations of straight lines. They all have the formula of the sort y equals mx plus c. We find the m in the equation by finding the gradient, sometimes known as the slope. We find the c by finding the y-intercept. The gradient, which is the m in the y equals mx plus c, is the amount the graph rises for each 1 unit across to the right. If we have a line, we take a point on that line, we go 1 to the right, and it must always be to the right, and the increase in that time is the gradient m. If the graph goes the other way, then it is negative. We take a line and we go 1 to the right, and if it goes down, then the gradient is negative. The y-intercept, which is the c in our equation, is where the graph crosses the y-axis, which is the vertical one, the upright one. So in this case, this graph has a y-intercept of 4, and this graph has a y-intercept of -3. We don't ever worry about where it crosses the x-axis. That's never important. Here's an example. We have a line. We know it's going to be of the form y equals mx plus c. So we take a point on the line and we head 1 right, and we see that we have to go 2 up to get back to the line. So our gradient is 2, and we can complete the m in our equation with a 2. Then we note that the line crosses the y-axis, the upright axis, at -4, so we can replace our c with -4. The style y equals 2x plus -4 is okay, but generally people would write y equals 2x minus 4. Another example, y equals mx plus c, that's always our form, and we've taken a point and we've headed 1 across. This time the graph drops by 3, so the gradient is -3, and we can put -3 into the gradient portion of our graph. The graph crosses the y-axis at 5, so our c, our constant, is 5, and we get y equals -3x plus 5. Final example, we have a line, y equals mx plus c, go 1 across, and in this case we're going up by a half. Sometimes it's a bit hard to see with small fractions, but if we look at a larger portion, we can see that for every 8 across, we're going 4 up, so our increase must be half, 4 being half of 8. If it's very difficult, you can use the formula rise over run, which I've covered in another video. In this case, we've got our gradient as a half, so we stick half in our equation, and it goes through the y-intercept at 4, so we replace the c with 4, and we have y equals half x plus 4. You can also write that in decimal form, no problem at all. Y is 0.5x plus 4, there's no difference between the two forms. So to recap, we have equations of lines. We always can write them in the form y equals mx plus c. We find the m in that formula by finding the gradient, which is how much the graph goes up for each one to the right, being negative if it goes down. We find the c by finding the y-intercept, where the line crosses the y-axis, that is the vertical or upright one.